Welcome back to Cells to Cell. We're back at it with two quizzes this time, one from the NIH and one from WebMD about regenerative medicine / stem cells. So we're first going to do the WebMD one, 10 questions.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the last quiz one. They're fun for us. It kind of breaks it up for, kind of researching papers and everything. And, we feel like it's a little bit more fun and not as as exciting as this field is. We want to keep it entertaining and fun at the same time because
Sometimes it gets really boring to read papers and then having to ask the audience to read papers just to know what we're talking about.
Right, and it's our job to read the paper and tell you guys. So we don't expect you guys to take as much time reading as we do. But in any case, which one do you want to start with?
We'll do the 10 question.
You want to do the WebMD first? Okay. So hopefully there's some good questions. I feel like the last quiz we took, there were some really easy questions and there were some really interesting questions. They're open-ended wording. There could be a couple answers. So, all right, I'll start with you.
Okay.
Stem cell treatments are risk-free if they come from your own body. True or false?
False.
I would go with
Stems.
false
There's
too.
nothing ever in this field that's risk-free.
Exactly.
Even if it comes from your own body, the stem cells could still be cancerous. Like, you don't know.
Correct. Yeah, you could take them out and something could happen environmentally. They could change a little bit, tweak something, and all of a sudden you put them back in. And like you said, cancer. So click on false. That is correct. WebMD basically says new stem cell treatments have to be tested for safety and effectiveness, even if they are your own stem cells. So, FDA has plenty of concerns, which I'm sure we have and will cover continuously.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we can kind of take this together since we don't have the same answers, and we can just elaborate the questions.
Okay. So there are no proven stem cell treatments yet. True or false? I'm gonna say false.
This is open-ended because
there are some proven.
There are some proven. There are. I would say true. Because although maybe not in the United States are there any on the market, but I'm sure that there are plenty that have been proven to work. They just haven't been able to, get approval. So I'm gonna go with true.
If this is WebMD in America, we'll say true.
Yeah.
False.
We got it incorrect. Okay, he got it. So for decades, doctors have used stem cells taken from bone marrow to help treat some cancers, such as leukemia and other stuff like sickle cell anemia. But sometimes those stem cells come from patients themselves. Other times they come from donated bone marrow. Either way, there are widely accepted.
So this question is like saying, are there no proven stem cell treatments? That's not true because they've been proven. Is it FDA approved? Can we apply it to millions of different kinds of people? Not yet.
I totally misread the question and misunderstood the question. I'll take that one. I'll take that one. All right, next. Stem cells cure ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease.
I don't know.
I don't think they do.
I don't know.
Because that's degenerative in the neurons. It literally destroys neurons. It's a really sad disease if anybody knows what it is.
Do they cure ALS? Maybe there's something we don't know, so maybe it's true.
Cure is a really strong word, and I feel like if ALS was cured,
we'd hear about it.
We would definitely hear about it.
Okay, we'll say false.
Yeah,
nice.
That's correct. So researchers are working on it, but it's still not fully there. It also goes for like type 1 diabetes and stroke and other diseases like that. So we're working on it.
We're working on it.
I might not personally be working on it, but the field's working on it.
We as a field are working on it.
Next.
So what's so special about stem cells anyway? They never die, they can make other types of cells, or they come from the brain stem.
I'm going to go with they can make other types of cells.
Yeah, I would
Stem
agree.
cells definitely die.
Yes.
They just can generate new cells
Yeah.
more effectively than some others. Correct.
True.
Yep. So stem cells are all about potential. They
Yeah.
can make new cells and replace damaged ones.
Perfect.
Perfect. All right, adult stem cells are found only in bone marrow.
False.
False. Parasites are all over the place. Specifically, my favorite is around the blood vessels. That's really fun. That's correct. There are stem cells throughout your entire body and in all different types of your organs. So that's pretty.
But bone marrow is where you find a majority of them
Yes.
that can be easily extracted for therapeutic use.
Yes. All right, next question.
Stem cells might the common cold. I don't know about that.
I want to say false.
I want to say
I don't
false.
know how another cell line can cure a virus.
Especially if the
Especially-
common cold can be new every year.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna say
go
false. It
Correct.
might help treat it, but we're not curing a cold. The
Yeah.
cold comes from nature.
Exactly. So I feel like that one was pretty easy. Scientists can reprogram skin cells to act like stem cells. True.
True.
That's absolutely true. Those are called induced pluripotent cells. Won the Nobel Prize in, I believe, 2012. Gentlemen in Japan found them, which are awesome. It's like one of the coolest things to come out of this industry.
Oh, yeah.
It's so interesting.
We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah. And we'll get more into induced
IPSCs.
pluripotent cells for sure. All right,
Adult stem cells are only found in grown-ups.
that's false.
I'm gonna say false as well.
Yeah, as you mature, your stem cells lose what's called like their stemness. So, like a young 4-year-old kid has a ton of stem cells because it's got a lot of growing to do, a lot of changes to overcome. But by the time you hit
14.
I'd say is it 14?
It is
14, 15?
Dr. Kaplan, in one of his lectures, when he gave to us in 492,
Okay.
he actually gave us a talk and he said, it turns out by the time you're 14, all of your pluripotent stem cells are differentiated now to be multipotent and things. They're not as bad as like a 35 or a 50-year-old.
Right.
But like a 14-year-old is actually has quite a few adult stem cells.
Yeah, you're losing a lot of potential.
Yeah. That's so sad.
It's okay. All right. Any embryonic stem cell can be used for research in the United States.
That is so wrong.
That is so false.
Out of anywhere.
Yeah. There are specific cell lines of embryonic stem cells that people use, but when people ask about, where do you get your embryonic stem cells if you're doing it, it's not, from women donating them, I guess. I don't know how to say that in a non-harsh way, but it's not invasive. It's
Yeah.
non-invasive.
Yeah.
So,
When a child is born, there's a lot of medical waste in terms of umbilical cord, the placenta, and the amniotic fluid. But these have a lot of rich pluripotent embryonic stem cells, which are really good for therapeutic use and research purposes, but they're just being thrown away right now, but there's
Yeah.
potential for us to use a lot of them.
all right, last question.
New parents should bank their baby's umbilical cord blood just in case their child needs stem cells later on.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That is
What?
What? New parents should bank. Okay, so we got that wrong. It's false. It's an opinion, but it's up to each family. When a baby is born, the umbilical cord and placenta are routinely discarded unless the parents choose to have blood from the umbilical cord and placenta collected. Okay, so that is a weird question. Yes, if parents should, if you're having a baby or plan on having one,
It's
hold
like
on to it and bank
insurance.
that umbilical cord and that placenta because, like he just said, it's insurance.
It
If
is.
something does go horribly wrong
In your family.
in your family, you can absolutely use those to help.
And you don't
So-
need to wait for a donor. Like, let's say you or your mom or your dad or somebody, your aunt, gets cancer later on in life. And let's say you, as an individual, your parents decided to store your own stem cells and you really love your aunt, uncle, mom, dad. You could use your umbilical cord or your placenta that was from your own birth that you stored to potentially save this person. That's incredible.
Yes, it's
And
incredible.
I think it's something that should be more widespread, but there's no current infrastructure and set standards of procedures and all that thing for a lot of different things. But there
Yeah.
are some companies like Cleveland Cord Blood that do this. but they're not. Their network is not as widely available as we would like.
Mm-hmm. So we got an 8 out of 10.
That's okay.
80%.
We learn.
I think, yeah, that last question, we should have been a 9.
It was an opinion, whatever.
Should have been a 9. Okay, but
now, 5-question quiz.
WebMD is telling us that we know quite a bit about stem cells, which I personally don't feel that way, but all right, so let's do the National Institute of General Medical Sciences, or the NIH. So first, which of these animals don't have the ability to regenerate? Zebrafish, fruit flies, sea urchins, or axolotls?
I'm gonna say B, fruit flies, because sea urchins and I don't know. I feel like water animals, like some
Yeah.
species similar to salamanders can grow back their tails and whatnot.
I mean, yeah, I'll go with fruit flies. I know.
Correct.
Yes, that is correct. I thought it was going to give us the stuff at the end. Yes. So fruit flies, or Drosophila, are used a lot in genetic studies. But for that reason, it's probably good. But they
can't naturally
regenerate. No, but
you could give them.
They have a ton of progeny. They have a ton of babies. That's why they really like them. Yeah. And you can easily see them under microscopes. So yes, and I know axolotls can regrow limbs back, which is super cool. All right, 2. The human body can regenerate: A, tooth enamel; B, toes; C, heart valves; D, bone tissue.
I'm gonna say bone tissue.
I'm gonna say bone tissue.
It's funny because tooth enamel is the one thing you really can't grow back if you lose it. So that's why dentists always pro enamel and those kind of
fluoride. Hide toothpaste, hide fluoride to help strengthen that enamel so it doesn't break away too
Once
much.
It's gone, it's kind of like you lost your enamel.
Bone tissue.
Yeah, bone tissue.
Yep, boom, bone tissue.
Right.
We have like we said in previous episodes, a ton of stem cells in our bones, and if those break, they're right there, especially with MSCs being in there to help with inflammation and everything. And I like to mention when it comes to bones, osteoblasts and osteoclasts, we're constantly breaking down and building new bone in our body anyways, even if we don't break it. So yeah, we constantly make new bone. All right, true or false?
The planarian flatworm can regrow its entire body from one tiny piece of tissue. I know something about worms. They have some crazy amount of brains in them.
Really?
Yeah, they have 30 brains or something. And when you cut any part of a worm off, I think it grows back everything. I think that might be
I'm going to say true as well. I know it's not a segmented worm, but when I go back to biology, general biology, I think of tapeworms as segmented worms, and they can grow from one piece. So
it's true.
It's true. We got it right. All right. True or false? The same genes that some animals use to undergo extensive regeneration are also found in humans.
Interesting.
I'm going to say false. I am going to say false. I don't think that's true.
I believe there's some correlation. There might be some correlation that helps us humans find out what helps us regenerate. But the same genes that found in animals to undergo extensive regeneration.
Yeah, when I hear extensive regeneration, I think of
grow back everything.
I'm thinking a lizard growing back a tail.
Yeah.
Right? When they're attacked from behind and someone has a hold of their tail, they can literally just cut it off. Or if it gets bitten off, they can just run away and it regrows. So I'm gonna go false.
Oh.
Wow. So it is true. So it's true that humans don't use these genes for regeneration, but we do have them. Interesting. You learn something about DNA and the genome. You can learn a new fact every day for the rest of your life, and you still wouldn't know everything about it. So, all right, interesting.
Okay, which of these is an achievement of regeneration research involving stem cells? A, a treatment for burn wounds that uses a spray gun to apply stem cells. B, creating a device that emit a light ray of stem cells and is passed through the chest to treat asthma. C, a medication that completely stops a person from aging. Or D, cloning an entire human being. I don't think stops a person from aging has been done yet.
Mm-mm.
Cloning an entire human being is not done yet. Creating a device that emits a light ray of stem cells. What is a light ray of stem cells?
Yeah. I don't
What
know.
is a light ray?
Never heard of that. I don't know.
So I'm gonna say
I'm
A.
gonna go with, I would say A as well. Yep, that's correct. So there are treatments using spraying of bottles with stem cells.
That's
Spray on a wound.
fascinating.
That's really cool. That's really, really cool. All right, well, those 2 quizzes were fun. We still have yet to go flawless on a quiz yet, so I guess we need to get back to reading.
Maybe we'll create our own quiz too and test you guys.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I think those are just 2 like light-hearted, fun quizzes. You know, just take up some time, make your brain work a little bit, and have some fun with it. So, got anything else before?
That's all for me.
No? All right. Well, thank you for watching Cells to Sell, and have a good one. We'll see you next time.